Hey, look, it's the Doublewide Dudes. Ooh, it's go time. All right. Welcome back to another episode of Doublewide Dudes. This one's going to be the last one on the home buying process. In this series, we've tried to cover everything from start to finish, AP. I know in one of the earlier episodes we were talking about the importance of the construction process and really hitting home on that.
Yeah, and we spent a lot of time talking about those energy-efficient upgrades. And we decided, at Broston Mobile Homes, we didn't just want to start there. So, again, we partnered up with White Cloud Media Group, and we're going to be using what they call a FLIR camera, forward-looking infrared, to show folks how much of this AC during the summer escapes some of these older models or even newer models without this energy-efficient option package, and then show them our office with the actual Energy Star package in there and really hopefully be able to show them the difference with the air escaping in one and not in the other.
Yeah, it's going to be a good visual for people to actually see what we've been talking about. Yeah. Now, in the last episode, we talked about choosing a retailer and moving along with closing. But now that closing's finished, the project really now begins.
Yeah, and this is where my side of the operation really kicks into gear. This is the part where we order the home and really want to stress that spec sheet you keep talking about, because that's basically a menu, right? And that's our receipt from the waiter, if you will, going back to the kitchen. And when we hand that off to the factory, they're going to build it the exact way that our company and our customers drew that up, right? So we hand that off to the factory, they get to building, and there's what they call offline, right? And that's how long it's going to take to actually get the home in line to be built. And it could be 2 weeks, could be 4. Right now, the offlines are huge in the industry, 2-3 months. So luckily for our customers, we've got build spots stacked all the way through the rest of the year where we pre-ordered these houses. But you kind of need that time as well, because this is where the construction gets going, the base pad, the utilities, whatever was on that order when you signed your final purchase agreement.
So once all that's done, you're going to get the site work's finished, the home's ready to go, and it comes down for the delivery day. What can we expect?
Well, we always want to make sure we're setting proper expectations, not only for our company, Mousetrap, but for the industry as a whole. And it's important on the customer side of things to understand that there is a difference between what they're going to call in this industry offline day and the actual day the home's going to be delivered. And sometimes, 1 or 2 day window there. But what's happening, I think as a potential home buyer, it's really cool to know your home's actually being put through a series of inspections at the factory. If it's a double wide, they're actually putting the sides up together, testing the water, testing the electric, all that good stuff. And, if it's a single section, then they're still doing the same test, water, electric, and all that. Really to do as much as they can on their end to make sure that when that home shows up at your property, it's in good working order and ready to go.
Yeah.
And so after all that's done is the actual delivery part of this process.
Yeah, and it's important to throw in there knowing the time frame on when you actually get your keys to move in, right? One thing you're going to want to do is definitely be there when the home gets delivered. That way you can get the house pack from the driver that's going to have your keys. And side note, just don't use those.
Yeah, don't use
until they're done trimming out the home, setting it, and all that. Because the service team has the master key, and they're gonna walk in and out, right?
Yeah.
But no, there's different teams for every part of the project. So.
Yeah, and it's important to realize if you're listening to this that not all of this is going to happen that same day. Like you were saying, Mousetrap, it's several teams. You got the delivery team day one. You've got the team that's going to come block it, tie it down, and level it, usually 1 to 3 days after it gets delivered. You got the interior finish-out crew, that trim-out crew that's going to come once the home's blocked and leveled and make sure the inside looks all put together and looks nice when it comes time to move in.
Yeah, and once all that's done, you're ready to go.
Well, almost. almost. You still got to get your AC, especially down here in South Texas. And, that just comes with getting all your utilities, your water, your sewer, your electric all hooked up to the home. If you're doing it right at this point, that should all be done. At the bare minimum, you should have a solid plan in place and probably be working on it by the time your home comes time for delivery. But once the electric's on, AC disconnect box is on the house, we can get that AC unit there hooked up. And then the last part is service. I know on your end, y'all spend a lot of time getting pictures and a list from the customer, really to go that extra step to make sure these home buyers are happy with their finished product. Yeah. So why don't you elaborate on that just a little bit more?
Yeah. I mean, it's important to keep in mind that it's still a construction site when the home gets delivered. So don't freak out when you walk in the house and trim or counter space or something that looks off, because the service team is going to do a cosmetic walkthrough and fix all that.
Yeah.
But it's important to keep in mind that the factory only does one, so you have to make sure you catch everything before they come out there. So,
yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I was talking to Leroy today because we're still working on his list, and he's pretty sure he's got everything down. He got the pictures. He made the list like we had talked about, and you could tell there's just some hesitation. Do I turn it in because I know I only get one? And I told him it's kind of like cooking popcorn in the microwave, right? You keep cooking it until you don't hear any more kernels popping. And I said, Leroy, once you and Michelle go a day or two without finding another, some little cosmetic defect that y'all want fixed, then you're ready to turn your list in.
Yeah, when there's nothing left, then it's time to turn it in.
Yeah, but definitely suggest living in that home at least for a week or two before you turn that list in. That way you make sure you catch it all at once.
Yeah. Well, I think that wraps it up for the home buying process, AP.
Covered a lot.
We did. There's a lot to making that initial decision to get out of your current living situation and get into your own mobile home. I think we did a good job of detailing and breaking it down for potential homeowners.
Yeah, and as always, if they've got questions, don't be shy.
Yeah.
We don't charge by the question, so definitely give us a call and ask anything that comes to mind. We want to make sure that you as a potential home buyer are making the right decision for you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, guys. Well, thanks for tuning into this episode in this series. We got a real special series coming up on the next one. We're going to get out in the field, get our hands dirty, and talk to some homeowners and have them give their accounts on how the home buying process went for them. Them give you some insight and some advice on what to look out for.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yes, sir. All righty. Well, thanks again for listening, guys, and we'll talk to you in the next one.